the next one.
Infinite is a character.
Whoops. The importance of Infinite's theme.
Infinite is a character who came and went about as quickly as the game he debuted in. Born out of a laughably executed origin story and vanishing without an ounce of climax, someone who should have been long forgotten ended up leaving a sizable impact on the community. Everyone remembers him, he's certainly held in a higher regard than the red dinosaur guy. Narratively speaking, it appeared like Forces was going in the right direction prior to launch. A serious tone again, Eggman finally takes over the world, then he shows up with a ton of promise, mystery, and boisterous cool factor as a blatantly self-aware edgelord harkening back to the 2000s era of Sonic. I mean, look at this guy. He is dripping in DeviantArt. Nike, get on this. Comparisons to Mephiles were made. He's voiced by Gara. His teaser trailer was styled like a black and white AMV montaging his cutscenes. Oh, they're doing it. And for the first time in 7 years, the franchise had new vocal themes, Infinite's in particular being a Linkin Park-styled nu metal anthem. Heavy guitars, electronics, rapping, big chorus, and lyrics so on the nose that if you search edgiest song ever made on YouTube, this still comes up right away. You can't make this up. It was over the top, but also went kinda hard. The main riff even sounded like one of Linkin Park's. An intentional similarity perhaps, as the artist Danger Kids, who performs the song, already had a discography of a similar genre, with one of their lyrics making a direct reference to the band itself. This was a significant move at the time. As I said, it had been a long while since a proper vocal theme was front and center, acting as a return to form of sorts for the franchise. This type of music in particular resonating with the adventure era of kids who grew up on those very same AMVs, a part of the fanbase who felt fairly sidelined during the 2010s. Keep in mind, the music direction had started to change around then. Sonic Colors, while an excellent soundtrack that still knew how to rock, was a lot more playful and electronic. Lost World downplayed it even further. Boom, if you want to count it, was unrecognizable, leaving only Runners, a mobile game, to carry the torch. So hearing a song smack you in the face with drop-tuned angst was comforting. It gave the impression that maybe Sonic was trying to be cool again and not ashamed of himself. Obviously, that didn't quite happen, but this song remained emblematic of something greater. A shift towards an idea that we wanted to see come back. The only problem with it is that it didn't freaking play anywhere. They buried this in the background of one cutscene and then never touched it again. Meanwhile, Fist Bump keeps popping up like a musical weed, gets its own level, credits, super theme, invincibility, a remix by Danger Kid. What the? With the only compensation being the 3 instrumental versions for each of his boss fights, which all sound fine enough, but it just doesn't hit the same, you know? I will say I was surprised by how much I enjoyed Infinite's first bout. This thing screams 2010s dubstep. It's got the memed air horn, that high-pitched vocal effect that sounds like an alien child. Why was that thing everywhere? But when that chugging metal riff peaks back in and the chorus hits, have a seat, my boy.
So good.
The final showdown, though, was a pretty big tease. It's an orchestral arrangement that, when playing the melody, sounds great, but it takes 2.5 minutes of build-up to get there, and then it's done. Some tightening up was definitely in order because that ending is terrific, once again demonstrating how the soundtrack often promises a much more epic game than what we got. In spite of its sparse usage, though, Infinite's theme song still left a mark on me. I patiently waited for the full track to be released and thoroughly enjoyed myself when it was, prompting me with the very same question of why didn't this play anywhere in-game? In terms of where the series would go after this, however, things were unclear for a while. 5 years would pass until the next mainline game got released. Sonic Frontiers. This was an important title. Not only did you have to win back the fans who became hardened skeptics, but because of the movies, there were going to be more eyes on the franchise than ever before. It needed to hit. And just like Forces prior to its launch, we got some music teasers. The main theme of the game, I'm Here, showed a preservation of the rock genre, only now incorporating a 9-string guitar, I mean at some point the instrument's just being greedy, a slow piano opening, orchestral elements, and a new singer, Mary Kirk Holmes, of the band To Octavia. Alongside this was a partnership with One OK Rock to use a version of their song Vandalize, where they changed 3 words to make it PG. And since we had that full track right away, I remember this being the talk of the town for a bit, people getting excited about the 2000s vibes. Only to completely forget about it after 3 very important songs overtook the spotlight. Otani played his hand so cool about it. I hope you enjoy the heavy sound that incorporates the 9-string guitar, which is not only in this song. Oh, we were not ready. That was a warning. I remember reading that and thinking, wow, what else are we gonna hear? History. And it all started with a little track called Undefeatable. Just like that, a new era had been forged. I couldn't believe my ears. My jaw literally dropped. Destructive guitars, thrashing drums, and Kellen Quinn? This came out of nowhere. For the first few hours, you are faced with nothing but piano and EDM treading the island at your own pace, until getting thrown to the ground and hoisted back up by the Christ of hype. I'm amazed that they kept this under wraps. I know there were leaks by players who got really far in the demo, but I gratefully avoided that stuff, and the surprise was life-changing. That's not hyperbole, by the way. Oh, you're being dramatic. No, you're being lame. This fight permanently affected my taste in music, restored my faith in the franchise, and remains one of my most excited moments in gaming. The way I felt right then will never be forgotten. I called my friend afterwards and said, you tell me when you get to that first Titan. And the best part? It wasn't even done. You finish up the next island, go super, and say, wait, is there another one?
Real. Just banger after banger this game is now.
Each new map became one long build-up to whatever the new song was gonna be. You weren't just watching an AMV anymore, you were playing it. An excitement that I hadn't felt really ever in a Sonic game. Now, people on the outside might be wondering, what's the big deal? It's just emo metal music, why is this so important? Fellas, we had been waiting for a time where we could point at the screen and say, look how cool our boy is. Look at him go. The last time we had that was probably Unleashed, 14 years prior. We were long overdue for a comeback, especially after a decade of, frankly, being a punching bag for the internet. And no, it's not that there's anything industry-defining happening here. It's that Sonic was doing it too. It finally felt like he was on an even playing field with the big boys. He's part of the status men, for crying out loud. Cinematically speaking, they tried here. They wanted this moment to matter so badly. It's why they kept it a secret. And to say it paid off would be an understatement. 95 million streams, not too shabby, guys. Read any of the comments on these videos and you'll see how many people share the exact same opinion. In fact, the reception was so good that they brought Kellen back to cover I'm Here in the Final Horizon DLC. Here's hoping that's not the last time we hear him. What I find so fascinating is that this all comes back to our dramatic little weakling. Infinite really was the litmus test to gauge our reactions to this type of music, as everything would be cranked up after it. The guitars were lower, solos got reinstated, there were more songs in total, screaming was front and center, which is ironic because Danger Kids actually do scream on a lot of their songs, but probably held back for commercial appeal. Meanwhile, Kellen is just laying waste to his enemies, belting out these primal shrieks like, yeah, they're older, they can handle it now. Also, he's just really good at it. Tyler Smith even makes a return on Find Your Flame, with some lyrics being directly ripped from Infinite's theme.
That's awesome. I never noticed that.
It's almost like they're confirming that this is what they were preparing us for way back then, and now it's reached its final form. A collection of pulse-pounding anthems that the entire fanbase can sing along to at any time. And they didn't just get a Crush 40 sound-alike to try and recapture the past either. They chose to go in a bold new direction that still fit the tone of the series. A risk I'm forever glad they took. Now, before I go, there is one last thing I want to bring attention to. Back when Infinite was first revealed with that 2-minute teaser of his song, that video was posted on July 20th, 2017. The same day that Linkin Park's lead singer, Chester Bennington, passed away.
Oh, damn.
I don't remember which happened first, if the Sonic social media released this in response, or if it was a sheer coincidence. Maybe someone who worked there at the time can confirm it, but either way, I've always seen this as a tribute. I mean, what are the odds that the new Sonic game just so happens to have a new metal theme performed by people clearly inspired by one of the biggest bands in the genre at the same time that the exact band suffers this devastating loss? I couldn't help but extrapolate some meaning out of it. And what began as an experimental paying of respects to recapture an old spark turned into an entire musical shift for the franchise, having a profound effect on the players. Undefeatable, Break Through It All, and Find Your Flame were all instantly immortalized into the fandom. They have become synonymous with the brand, and I can only hope that we continue riding that trend. So thank you Tomoya Otani, Jun Sonoe, Andy Bain, Tyler Smith, Kellen Quinn, everybody who brought these ideas to life. You've made a lot of people very happy. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, don't forget to check out the next episode whenever I post it, which will probably be soon. Alright. See ya.
Well,
Infinite.
that's awesome, though. That song was meant to be more like a tribute. I never knew that.